Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Screen Chronicles. My name is Steve. With me, as always, is Cobstone, the man with no name. How are you doing today, Cobstone?
I'm doing good, Steve. It's good. It's good not having a name.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's nice. Yeah,
Stay off the grid,
stay off the grid. It's great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, because today we're talking about the third episode of The Mandalorian Season 2, also known as Chapter 11, The Heiress.
Yes, sir.
That's something we haven't talked about yet either. They're chapters, and they're still going, like, chronologically.
From season 1.
Yeah, from season 1.
Yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Which is, it is, but it's also like...
sounds like you have some reservations about this.
It feels like a whole new book we're in, though. It doesn't feel like it's the same book. Chapters in a book. Like, to me, chapter 9...
So you think it should be season 2, chapter 1?
I think so. I think this is a new book. I think we should have started with chapter 1. Because you imagine you end chapter 10 with beating, or chapter 8 with beating Moff Gideon. Oh, Moff Gideon! You beat him, and then literally the next chapter they're like, on another planet, gonna fight a space worm. Like, it just, like, I'd be like, what? Like, what? Where did the other book end? Like, what?
All right, so you're not a big fan of the chapter numbers.
I think they need to understand that chapters for books, like, you're in the same book, like,
okay.
Harry Potter didn't just start with the Order of the Phoenix before he finished the Goblet of Fire. You know what I mean? Anywho, I digress.
Oh, I didn't know you were so passionate about this.
I just think it needs, people need to talk about it. People are still freaking out that Baby Yoda was eating eggs. There's like genuine
I'm still
outrage.
freaking out about that.
I think it's funny.
Well,
like, there's
it's
genuine outrage.
funny, but...
It's just social media crap.
Yeah.
Anywho, though, episode 3. That's what we're talking about today, or chapter 11, The Heiress. Some non-spoiler thoughts first. We'll talk about that if you haven't seen the episode.
Some big spoilers in this one, so
so it's going to be short, non-spoiler. And then we're going to get into spoiler talk. We're going to kind of recap it and talk about what we thought about it.
All right.
So first of all, what did you think about the episode?
It was short and compact, and it packed a punch, and I liked it a lot. That's the way I would describe this one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And it lent a lot to the overarching story, kind of compared to the previous episodes. This one really felt like it had a kind of a driving force to move the story forward. I'll leave it at that until the non-spoiler, or until the spoiler talk.
Yeah. I'd say the third episode of the first season too was kind of the same way. I mean, you found the child in the first episode, at the end of the first episode, but those were really like bounty hunter missions. And then the third episode was, you got to take the baby, run away. Here's the Empire. They're going to come after you, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
add a lot of context.
I like that they did that. A lot of people were complaining that it's not pushing the plot forward. It's like, simmer down.
Yeah, relax. We'll get there.
Let's
have a nice cowboy adventure and fight space worms and eat frog people babies. Like, we like that stuff. That's stuff we like. It's Star Wars.
Kill out people.
Yeah.
But I like this episode too. It was short. They've been getting shorter, since the first one. I was really hoping that since the first one they'd all be like an hour to dig into. But it was still good.
Yeah.
I mean, I still felt like I wasn't gypped or anything after this. And
I agree. Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it, and every week I'm just looking forward to the next one.
I think this one gave us a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Which we should start talking about right about now. Let's go ahead and...
alert!
Yes, that's right. So, where do we even begin?
Well, first of all, I think the big spoiler thing, so we can just get it out of the way.
I want to get it out. I just want to get it out.
He meets other Mandalorians. Finally, he ends up getting Frog Lady or Salamander Lady, depending on your genealogy, where
perception,
perceptions.
We don't want to piss off any frog people or salamander people or lizard people. We are totally accepting of all of them. The amphibian /
scaled and slimy outer coating. We're centralists in that regards. I would say.
I would say we're very accepting.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many gills or webbed fingers, how fast you can hop. The only thing I do judge if you like to eat little baby frogs.
Yeah.
I judge you real hard on that. And you know who you are out there. You know who you are if you're hearing this. Right.
But he gets her there. And as we talked about in the last episode, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out, is that we see that person in the crowd. And I thought it was a Force user from the trailer, how they were saying, I need to find others of his kind. And when he talks about his kind, meaning Baby Yoda's kind or the child, he's talking about Jedi. He's not talking about.
That became a little bit more clear this episode.
Yeah. But so I thought it was going to be a Jedi. Like from the trailer, they were with the voiceover. I was like, that's a Jedi chick. I don't know who it is. She just appears like a Jedi. Turns out, though.
Or like Batman.
Or Batman. Turns out, though, she is not a Jedi. She's a Mandalorian. And she's actually Sasha Banks is her adult film name. I mean, her wrestling name. And
everything. Everybody thought that she was going to play Sabine from Rebels. And it turns out she's not.
Yeah, she was like the colorful Mandalorian from Rebels.
Changed her hair color all the time. She was super cool.
Yeah. But she wasn't. She was just another Mandalorian, though. And actually,
what was her name?
Her character's name was Ahsoka Reeves.
Yeah.
The actress's real name is Mercedes Varnado. But I said it, like I said, her adult film name is Sasha Banks. I mean, her wrestling name is Sasha Banks. So the big thing is, though, she shows up and actually Bo-Katan Kryze, who was, if you have seen the Clone Wars or Rebels, she was a Mandalorian in that. She was actually a sister to the Duchess, who Obi-Wan was into, and then she died. Darth Maul killed her. And so there was this whole Mandalorian civil war, and Darth Maul was taking over one. It was a really cool arc from the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But she ended up going against Darth Maul then because her sister was killed and stuff like that. But she was also, a bad Mandalorian before that, though. So she's had a mixed past.
Yeah.
But then in Rebels, we actually see her end with the Darksaber, which is something I completely forgot because I only saw Rebels one time through. By Mandalorian rights, that makes you Mandalore, which is the leader of the Mandalorians. Mandalore the Great, whose name has like an apostrophe halfway through it, is like where the title Mandalore comes from. Because there's like a Jedi Mandalorian Civil War, which we heard, I think the Armorer even talk about back in season 1. That's where she had heard of Jedi for Din Djarin's quest. Calling him Mando now is going to get confusing once we start getting other Mandalorians. But actually, the actress who portrayed her in this, Katie Sackhoff, actually did the voice of the character for the show. So it was cool. They were able to literally just bring her from the animated series into real life, and it just worked out.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is people are upset they weren't doing that with Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're not doing that. I think just the actress is a little young.
Yeah, but the person they got to play Ahsoka Tano, have you seen her? She actually looks like her.
She kind of looks like her, yeah.
I was like, yeah, you got to go with her. Like and she's a good actress. What's her name? Zoe something?
Yeah, the hot nurse from Daredevil.
Rosario Dawson.
That's it, Rosario Dawson. Yeah, she's Ahsoka. I don't know why they didn't bring the voice actor. She does, I think, look like she could be her.
I think so. Yeah. I'm excited.
And then so at the end too, Bo-Katan drops Ahsoka's name. So
Boom.
it's, even though they say Clone Wars is canon, it never really felt like it to me though.
Yeah.
You know, back
But
when
now
they
all of a sudden
brought back Darth Maul, I was like, it doesn't count. And
right.
But then Darth Maul showed up in Solo. And I was like, yeah, but like,
okay.
yeah,
So now
like,
it's kind of
I
giving
could
a little
still
credibility
disregard
to it.
that. Yeah. But now she's in this. Ahsoka's going to be in it.
You can't disregard anymore, dude.
Can't.
This is it. This is real, man.
Yeah.
Clone Wars was for real, man.
Yeah.
And we got, we got Ahsoka coming this season. I don't know if it's going to be next episode. Probably not. She's probably going to have to go on another adventure to figure out where she is, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the next 2 to 3 episodes, we're going to have some Ahsoka Tano action.
Well, Dave Filoni, who was like this pretty much the showrunner, I guess you could call him maybe, for Clone Wars and Rebels.
Right.
And he and George Lucas helped create Ahsoka Tano together, actually. And he wrote and directed the 5th episode of this season.
Okay.
So the speculation is that that's where she's going to show up.
Yeah,
because
I've heard that.
He's writing and directing that one. It's a character he knows very well. So I'm thinking 5. I could be wrong. We could meet her in the next one. Maybe even just at the end, though, and have her show up in the next one.
Either way, I'm excited. I like Ahsoka.
Yeah, I do too. I think when she was first introduced, I was like, gosh, she's kind of annoying. But her character
she had
really
annoying
developed.
parts early on in Clone Wars. But yeah, especially in Rebels, she was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And at the end of Clone Wars, obviously, she had some awesome moments, except for that middle sequence in Clone Wars where she was hanging out with those sisters.
The last season. The last season. Like, the sister arc.
And she was kind of giving up the Force and stuff.
That was
like,
complete crap.
Ahsoka, don't give up the Force. Come on.
They could have done that. They could have done those episodes in like 1 or 2 episodes. Instead, they had them break out, escape, get captured, break out,
escape, get captured
for
how
like
many
several
times?
episodes, like 4 or 5, and it was like all stupid things. But then the last few of that season were awesome. I mean, her and Darth Maul and all the stuff. I mean, just awesome. Anywho, this episode though, we got to see Bo-Katan. She shows up. And they finally answer the question that we have been talking about for over a year now. What's the deal with the helmets?
There's been this inconsistency because we start watching Mandalorian and he's going by like his group of people who live underground. You don't take your helmet off for anybody. But we've seen a ton of Mandalorians in Clone Wars and in the prequel series just take their helmets off all the time. Not a problem. So we were thinking, I think our theory was right. We had just a simple theory that it was just, okay, you know, they're on a planet, just like we're on planet Earth, and there's a lot of different type of people. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what they described there, but they described this kind of extremist cult that Mando was adopted by, Death Watch, right?
Yeah, Death Watch, who, if you know the Clone Wars, were the group that I think they kind of helped bring Darth Maul into power, but they were the people of Mandalore that wanted to bring back their warrior culture. Yeah, because Mandalore was more of like a politician sort of place, and so they were kind of terrorists for a while, but they wanted to bring back the old ways. And the leader actually had the Darksaber. That's where Darth Maul got it, and then it got around everyone else.
It gets around. It gets
around Darksaber. It's cursed, and
now you know who has it now, Steve?
Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon. If you need to know why I do that, you need to watch. You need to watch our boys talk. I think it's our first one. You need to watch that. There's the explanations in there. It's too long. It's an inside joke, but you can be in it if you watch it or listen to it. Anywho,
and just for the record, I'm still not exactly sure why he does it.
Yeah, he is. He is. Anywho,
it's like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
But it's like giddy. I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to explain it.
Okay, you don't have to explain.
I'm not going to explain it here. Go watch it. We're not going to waste time. Anywho, and I thought that was pretty cool that they answered that right away, because I was like, all right, if she is Bo-Katan, I mean, it looked like her costume looked pretty much the same.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
It's so cool seeing it in real life. It was
like the most realistic, like, animation to human thing I've ever seen.
It's so strange. Yeah.
There wasn't even a question of like, is that her? I was like, that's her.
Yeah.
I would even say with the armor, the Mandalorian armor that they had on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks so accurate to the show, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, it did. They all looked pretty sweet. And so it was pretty cool when you get to hear, and they were like, all right, let's answer this question right away. They all take off their helmets right in front of him. And you can't see his face, but like, in there, he's just like,
so offended.
You sons of bitches.
Where'd you get that armor? So offended. This guy. Just like in episode 1, he was so offended with a guy wasn't a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But she immediately is like, look, this armor's been in my family for like how many generations? Like, I don't know. But my
sister was the queen or the duchess or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm as Mandalore as they get. I was born on Mandalore.
Yeah, and fun fact, my sister, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, probably not true. Maybe true.
I hope it is. I hope he got some action in his life, man. I hope so. I think it adds to his character, Yeah, got some. Well. And anywho, though, but they kind of, it was really cool because she's like, oh, you're from the Watch, Death Watch. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, that's who rescued him at the end of season 1 in his flashback. Yeah. We got to see when he was a kid. That's who he's adopted by. And like I said, those are the ones that they wanted to bring back the old ways. That was really their mission. So I guess his group then really adopted those and lives by those. It's their creed. Yeah,
it's their creed.
And she describes him as a religious zealot. Is what it is. So he's kind of a religious fanatic. Is kind of what Jin is.
One of those, yeah. When you think about it, but that's how he was raised. Yeah, that's how he was raised. And the guy on her left, when they take their helmets off, he goes, "Oh, he's one of those."
Yeah,
it's kind of showing they don't have a very high opinion of these Death Watch religious zealots.
Yeah. There's some different clans that think differently of each other, apparently.
Just like on Earth, just like on Earth. And so, it's a simple explanation. It's kind of what we thought from the beginning of why some do and he doesn't. Like, he's just from a different group of people that have a different set of beliefs.
How funny was it when, like, after they did that, and they're like, yeah, we can help you. And he's just like, no way, fuck off. And he just flies away.
I thought it was funny.
It's like, I don't want help from you.
Yeah. What if they just never came back again? No.
He would have been fine with that. He was like, all right, gotta go do a different mission now. That's what I love about him. He's just like, all right, screw you guys.
He's great.
You offensive pigs.
Yeah, he's pretty great. So those are the big points here. And so we'll kind of backtrack a little bit toward the beginning of the episode where we have Frog Lady and Baby Yoda. They're coming into the atmosphere. Something's wrong with the ship. He just has to do a total free fall into the atmosphere. But this is a pretty cool part. So they're falling to the atmosphere, and one of the Mon Calamari, the same species as General Akbar, is down there. Yeah, it's a trap. He's like, you got to slow your ass down, bro. You're going in with some speed. And he does, like, stop it. He, like, slows it down enough. And then I think something blew out. Like, one of his engines blew out. And his
engines, like that classic, like, Star Wars engine failure noise.
Yeah.
Happens, and he just tips off into the water.
Which is pretty funny because it looked like he was ready to land softly.
Yeah. And then like a walker, like
I like this. Yeah.
AT-AT, right? Is that the big ones? And it picked.
But this is an industrial. Crane. This is an industrial. Yeah. AT-AT. It's
not a snow killer.
No. That was pretty funny. I like that though, and you could see more in the background.
Yeah, like it made them feel functional and real too.
Totally.
I've thought before, like, why would they in a universe where they have things that float and hover and can shoot? Why would they bring down these big things that have to walk somewhere?
Super slow.
Peter.
It's just the most inefficient design for a combat vehicle.
I know. Let's get some wheels on this thing at the very least.
Yeah. Or just like fly. Like, I don't know.
Fly lower.
They're cool though.
They are cool.
You know?
It was cool, like, to see them getting used.
But yeah,
he talks to the Akbar guy, the Mon Calamari. He's like, "Can you fix it?" He's like, "Do what I can." And
yeah. I had to turn the subtitles on because I couldn't understand him. He's like, "I'll fuel it up if it even holds fuel anymore." He's like, "What'd you say?" Oh man, Mandalorian, dude, he doesn't take crap from nobody. Mm-mm. No Mon Calamari people for sure. Mm-mm. But anyway, we get a reunition of frog people coming together.
Yeah,
Kermit and whatever. No, anyway, but they come together and like, look, you know, Baby Yoda is still eyeing those babies, dude. And Mando even has to be like, "Look, I know you're hungry, bro. I'll hook you up with some food." You know,
he does. He says it.
So they do go and eat, and
something like they I think they ask maybe the barkeep or someone, "Hey, has anyone seen anyone of my kind? Or can you point me in the direction?" He pays them off, and he's like, "This Quarren has," and the Quarren are the people with like the tentacle chin things. They also live on this planet. And if you saw in the Clone Wars too, they were like fighting with the Mon Calamari too.
Yeah.
So they're typically, I guess, the more the bad guys. But I was just like, "Oh, here's a ship guy." He's like, "We have to go sail to go find them."
Yeah, whatever.
Sail? Like,
yeah, okay, yes.
Got spaceships?
You got spaceships, but you got to sail across the waters, like, and
in
it's
my head, I was like,
treacherous
maybe it
waters.
Costs more, you know. Well, maybe it costs more, or maybe because they fish, you know.
Well, they were fishermen, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
for them. But like to travel there, like, why can't you just be like?
Maybe they're fishing on the way. Maybe they're like, let's.
Yeah, they're just fishing on the way. They're just fishermen.
Fishing ship, you know.
But they also have like a pet fish in their boat or something.
Yeah, I don't know if that was in their boat or they like
below it. I'm confused about that.
Yeah, I don't really know.
And
but, dude, when they're like, "Hey, do you want to see us feed the giant fish thingy?" And Mando's like looking off into the distance, and he's like, I don't know or care. And the guy's like, "The kid would like it." And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to be a good dad. Fine." And he goes over there and he's like, "Oh, look, must be hungry today." And they're feeding it and it's open. And then all of a sudden, the dude just smacks Baby Yoda into the water.
Yeah, I freaked out, dude. I was like, no. I got up. I was like, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Like, there were just millions of Star Wars fans all over the world that were just like freaking out for a second, like calling hotlines. How can I help?
What can I do?
So first of all, a couple things about this. It's not that Mando didn't suspect anything. He was kind of like, all right, that's close enough. Don't get too close to this water thing. Mm-hmm. But it was still too close. And also, they do focus on the capsule closing before the Kraken thing.
The Kraken.
What's it called? It's called a Mon.
I think it's like an anus with teeth.
That's what it's called, an anus with teeth.
Yeah, I think it's the Star Wars thing.
That sounds good.
Anywho, the giant anus thing, it just wraps around Baby Yoda and just swallows. But like, yeah, you get to see that like it shuts. So like,
so you know it's. But the other thing I was gonna say is that Mando dove in like immediately.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Pretty awesome.
He's awesome. He's trying to be a good dad. I think he's great.
I think he's great.
And they
Too
just
bad
shut the
though.
doors.
They just shut the gate, and it's just like, and they start jabbing him with like these long,
pokers,
stabs, like pokers. Yeah, they got pokers.
One thing I was thinking though was like, as soon as it shut, Mando like gave up instantly. You know what I mean? Like he was like just trying to stay on top. Then I was like, why did he instantly come back? You know, he like dove in, and then he heard it shut. He's like, oh crap! Like I don't want to die.
I love this baby, but like, I don't want to. Yeah, but they weren't having it. They were just poking him down.
Yeah.
And he's just in his best car, like, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah. And
Yeah, they wanted his armor, is what they wanted.
yeah, they wanted the Beskar armor.
And then all of a
Super
sudden,
rare. They get some more armor coming in.
Yeah.
Boom. And okay, I gotta say, Bo-Katan and the other two just kick so much butt. They are so good.
It was fun watching other Mandalorians fight. Again, we saw Mandalorians. The first time we saw other Mandalorians fight was in episode 3 of the first season. So it's pretty cool. I don't know if that was like a reference to itself or anything.
Yeah, but I think these ones could kick anybody's butt.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So there was
and
another
don't even
guy
get me
and a
started when
girl.
they broke into the ship. Don't even get me started. We'll get to that. But
Oh yeah.
we'll get to that. But
So
anyway,
they easily beat these fishermen up.
And they easily get Mando out, and like he's like, "My baby, help me find my baby."
I know, my baby.
And one of them is just like, "All right," just goes in and gets him somehow. I don't even know what she did to get him. Like
She'd like tickled it, like
yeah,
tickled the anus with
the
teeth.
thing that makes it throw up, and it comes up, and like the thing tried like chewing through.
It was dented.
Capsule. It was dented. She just rips it open, and yeah, baby Yoda's fine. Mando's just like hugging him, like, "Oh, little boopa, sorry."
Oopa, oopa.
Anyway,
He was pretty sweet though. He's like, "Don't," like choking up, and he's like, "Don't worry, go get him." But that's when we saw they take their helmets off. He gets offended.
He gets offended. We just talked about this.
And he tells him he's like, "Buzz off! I don't need your help."
Yeah, we got our answer of why he doesn't take the helmet off and others do. So it was good.
What do you think about that though? I like that he is like a fundamentalist though. I really dig that. I would probably be okay with taking my helmet off in like in a group of Mandalorians though. I think that should be allowed. You know what I mean?
No, I like it. I mean, it's just like the Jedi we grew up being big fans of the Jedi, still love the Jedi, but when you really think about it, it's pretty extreme culture they have.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to love, you're not allowed,
Yeah, you're not allowed to
restrict your feelings so much. It's not something like I think I could actually like, do in real life. Like, but I love that's what I love about the fiction is like,
you appreciate it too.
You appreciate these different cultures that
they feel real.
And feel real.
They echo things that are in our history but are new. And
yeah. So I like it, and I like that it shows that there's a difference, like even from the same planet. Like not everyone from one planet.
Mandalore though.
No, I know, but he was raised by
Mandalorians. Yeah,
Mandalorians. So then their people, believed in this culture. So like, it's kind of cool. I really like it. I like that Mando doesn't take it off, and I like that the other people think that's crazy.
Me too. It makes him different than them.
Yeah, it makes him different.
So I guess,
and he is different.
We definitely know then he didn't take his helmet off when he was intimate with them, with that Twi'lek who was in episode 6. Like he just kept his helmet on when they were doing the horizontal tango. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's some commitment there.
That's commitment.
She's like, "Let me just give you a kiss." No. We don't kiss.
Yep.
The helmet. It's the helmet why we don't kiss.
That's hilarious. It reminds me of a thing in Rick and Morty.
What?
There's like a post-apocalyptic episode, and there's somebody that wears a cool helmet. It kind of looks like a Mandalorian helmet or something. And Summer's like getting intimate with him, and she's like, "Can you take the helmet off?" He's like, "Oh, I've never taken it off." She's like, just take it off for me. And he takes it off, and he's just got this horrible mustache. And she's just like, "Oh." He's like, oh, I can put it back on. Anyway, then Mando runs away from them because he's just like, screw these people, dude. Screw these freaking liberals. With his conservative ways, he goes, and then he's walking through an alley with Baby Yoda and all of the
Corrin,
come out, and
you killed my brother.
Yeah, and this is pretty cool. And Mando, I'm like wondering what he's going to do again. He usually finds a way out of these situations, but There's a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And this was pretty cool. As Bo-Katan comes in and is like, "No, he didn't. I did." And then they just slay.
Quick draw.
They just slay these guys. Crazy. So Mando gets saved by them for a second time.
It's so great seeing Mandalorians in a group, like
Yeah.
how they trump anyone else.
And their armor is so cool. I love the patterns on it.
Yeah.
And theirs just looks so good.
Mm.
I don't know what it was. I can't put it into words.
I think it was the blue,
Why?
maybe? I don't know.
Maybe the blue, maybe just the background, even when they were on the boat with the sea in the back. I can't even put my finger on it. But it almost like looked like you could recognize the cartoon in the live action, even with all the armor on.
Yeah, but it didn't
Does that
feel
make sense?
cartoony, though. Yeah.
It didn't feel cartoony, but
You could recognize it for sure.
But yeah. Anyway, it was
definitely had
phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Well,
So-
whose armor would you have? Would you have Din Djarin's or their blue? Are they Night Owls? Because I think Night Owls or whatever owl group, weren't they all female though?
Well, they were all female, and I think wasn't Bo-Katan was one of them for a time.
Yeah,
I believe.
so. But
Might
that
have been
the
the leader
guy's
of
in
them
it, so I don't know if they're still that or.
I don't
what,
think
but-
so anymore, but
Who would you pick
Yeah.
though? Who would you wear? Who you wearing? You're going to the Star Wars Awards.
dude, I don't know. I need to get. Oh, I'm going to the Star Wars Awards.
Yeah, are you wearing Din Djarin's armor? Or are you wearing Clone Wars? You're wearing these Clone Wars to live action armor.
The Clone Wars live action is like prettier, but Din Djarin's is like just. I like the sleekness of it.
I do too. I like how shiny.
I'm gonna
I
go
picked his
Din Djarin. Yeah, I'm going to Mando with this.
because he looks like a classic warrior too. He looks like a knight.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like a knight, but also like the bounty hunter. You know,
We're going as Mando.
he echoes the old and the new. You know what I mean?
Yes,
He's so
yes. Yes. And I just love knowing how he's just kind of his suit has grown with him.
cool.
You know, I love that aspect of season 1.
Yeah.
Basically, they kind of have a meeting. By the way, something tried to eat Baby Yoda's face in his soup in this episode. It was kind of funny.
Yeah. Get some payback. He's like, I saw what you did to those eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, basically, he's having this conversation with Bo-Katan, Mando is, and she pretty much tells him, like, if you help us with this mission, we're going to, I know a Jedi that I know where she is. I can help you find her.
Mhm.
Or she doesn't say her. She just says,
Yeah, help you find the
find a
Jedi.
Jedi. So anyway, Mando takes Baby Yoda to the babysitter, the child, and so gives it like he brings him back to the frog people, and I'm just like Mando.
Bad idea.
What? These guys, he's gonna eat all their kids. It's just like your friend just had newborn triplets. And you're like, here, watch my lion. Like, I'm gonna go do some adventure stuff. No, I'll be fine.
He can only choke you with his mind if you make him mad. Here you go.
Anyway, Baby Yoda goes straight for those eggs.
Yeah.
But
But
he's up against the glass. But
that
yeah,
they're
he
moving
sees
around
one,
though.
He sees one's being born, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just say this at the end of the episode. I'll just go there now. When Mando comes back to get him, there's like a frog that's grown.
It's a tadpole now. Yeah.
Well, it's a tadpole, right? And it's swimming around, and he's like petting it and touching it. But like, I can read his mind. He's just thinking like, "Oh, you get big. You're gonna get bigger. I can't. I'm gonna let you get bigger. And I'm gonna eat you." I can read his mind. And
No. Why was Mando letting him touch the tadpole? You know, like
well, he did pull him away. He did,
but
like,
I'd be like, no.
yeah, he should have just go. Whoa!
Like as soon as I saw the door, and we're gone.
I know he didn't.
Thank you
he
guys.
wasn't that
Bye.
quick on it. But I love like when he was pulling Baby Yoda away. Baby Yoda was like, "No, I want to eat you." He was like, "No, I want to eat you." It wasn't that he wanted to pet it and have fun and have a little pet. No. He was waiting for that thing to get bigger. That's the only reason he didn't eat it yet.
Mhm.
Was because it wasn't big enough yet.
I'm going to talk too because I think it's important how crappy it is for Frog Dad because he doesn't get to have sex. He just has to come in this bucket of eggs.
I could do that. Why is that crappy?
I don't know. Maybe it's more fun for them.
Just kidding.
He has to relieve himself in the eggs. He can't have the real fun. You know what I mean? He doesn't get to do the horizontal tango. He's just...
Don't tell him that, though. He might not know.
Might not know. Anywho, though, let's
or he
jump
might
back.
think that's super gross. Imagine frogs thinking that we're gross.
Dude, what? No. That thing is supposed to be for the eggs.
I'm just like, yeah, just picturing like a frog coming out of a muddy swamp. Disgusting, guys. What the
hell are you doing?
Guys, that is so not hygienic. Ribbit.
Ribbit.
It reminds me of another Rick and Morty thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're walking into a restaurant that's run by frogs. And the two guys behind the counter go to Rick like, hey, Ribbit, hey, Ribbit, hey.
Backing it back up, Mando drops the kid off. So he's going on a mission with the other 3 Mandalorians. And what they're going to do is hijack this Empire ship that has weapons on, or they're going to steal the weapons on the ship, is what the original plan is.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sweet. They get on there, and it's a pretty cool group of Empire guys. I thought it felt really like classic Empire guys. Like the guy was very professional.
The captain.
Yeah, the captain. He wasn't yelling or anything like we see with the new First Order or anything like that.
He had like his badges.
Yeah,
he was official, man.
Yeah, he was official. He was a really cool. He was a really cool character.
I thought so.
And how short he was in this,
yeah.
And really felt like classic Empire kind of guy. And they're flying, and eventually the Mandalorians break in.
And they go full Assassin's Creed. She's got like the forearm knife.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They wreck house, dude.
Oh yeah. They're just going down and just wrecking the stormtroopers. And it still feels like they're kind of a threat though, because they have to hide and come up. But I mean, they're covered in bulletproof armor. You know what I mean? Blaster-proof armor.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys are like, oh, there's got to be like 10 of them coming through, you know. And there's 4, and just making their way up. And eventually they get to like this cargo area where all the weapons are, and there's this other officer who seemed pretty cool. He seemed like a cool guy, and they're coming through, and he's like, "Shut the doors! Shut them all! Shut all!" And they're like, "What doors?" And he's like, "All the doors! Shut all the doors!" And like that to me, like felt like such a clunky reference. This show does a lot of references to the other movies and stuff, but that one to me was like so clunky and on the nose for the original Star Wars, The New Hope. Yeah. When they're in the trash compactor and Luke is yelling, "Shut all the doors, 3PO, shut them all!"
Yeah.
All the doors on attention level.
That did feel a little bit
like he kept
too
saying
much.
I was like there's a set of doors in between you and them. Shut any of them. Why do you have to say all the doors? Shut one. Like that. That's all. Like I was like, all right, that was just a clunky way to force in a reference there.
Totally.
Because the show does do a lot of references. To me,
which is fun.
They pretty much felt organic though. That one to me was like so on the nose. And I was
what is it with you tonight? With the chapter numbers, with the references? It's I'm just kidding.
I didn't get to fertilize any eggs. You know, that's what it comes down to. Anyway, the guy does the reference. They finally shut all the doors. Captain calls back and he said, how are we doing down there, guys? And he's like, "We got him trapped." And he said, "Trapped where?" And he said, "In the cargo control room." And then all of a sudden, jettison.
Yeah, but before that, the captain's like, "Did you just say the cargo control room, you dumbass?"
You massive idiot.
And what room are you in? The cargo release room. Yeah, and they just unload. That was fun, though. That was fun.
It was funny. They get in there then, and they start looking at the weapons. And Mando says, "All right, here's the end of the deal. We said get you to the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
help me find the Jedi.
Because
We made
Bo-Katan
agreement.
wants these weapons so that she can arm people to retake Mandalore.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of why she's sabotaging these ships, trying to steal weapons. But yeah, then she contacts the captain through the ship. And she goes like, yeah, we're not done. We're coming for you next. And Mando's like, whoa. What? Like, that's not what I signed up for, you know?
Yeah, we had an agreement. And he's an honorable guy, too. And he's seen these Mandalorians, even though they take off their helmets, he's still dealing with them like he would members of his own clan.
Right.
And he said, you know, we made a deal. We made an agreement. She said, I'm changing the agreement. You know,
which is another shout out to
Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader's saying that to Lando. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Yeah.
And but that one to me, I was like, all right, I kind of like that one.
Not bad. But then she just gives him a snobby, this is the way. Yeah. This is the I was like, you're gonna throw that in his face right now?
Oh my God. I was just like,
you're gonna just disrespect him like that?
As soon as that happened, first of all, I was like, all right, you are not a true Mandalorian. If you betray one of your own like that, you lie to them, that's not on. And you could just see it on his face. He doesn't have
even though you can't really see it on his face.
but he was thinking.
That's how good Pedro Pascal is in all this. He's just
whoever is in
or whoever. If it wasn't him this episode, you can just read it on his face.
You just saw it on there. He was just, these people have no honor. You know, you just saw it on there. He said, that is not how we say it. This is the way. That is not when we say it. Nope. You know? And I was thinking, all right, so we're going to have some maybe Mandalorian Civil War maybe going on here again, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of feeling at the time.
But
it doesn't really shape out that way anyway.
Yeah, they keep pushing forward. And this was then Mando actually took one for the team.
Oh, yeah. How sweet.
There was a group of stormtroopers that were just laying
heavy gunfire down.
Heavy gunfire. It was pretty tough even for everything they faced so far.
Yeah, they couldn't.
And they were trying to get through, but Mando takes one for the team. And I was thinking, he's doing this even after they disrespected him like that.
That's how.
All right, but that's how it, dude.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way, you mother fathers. I'm coming through here. He's just taking it because he's got the Beskar on. I'm still kind of like, you're not 100% covered by the Beskar.
Not.
You got patches here.
And it looks like it hurts though too. He's getting
he's
shot in the head and the chest. And
they
bring him down.
These 2 grenades in his hand. Yeah. They bring him down, but right when he gets down, he just lobs the grenades at them. And I was just like, I was thinking to myself, it's like, I mean, I would have thrown him from the end. I would have just just chucked him.
Yeah, you should have done that.
It might have been a way longer hallway than we think.
I don't know, man.
But he does lob them and explodes everyone in that little room that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
And they move forward and they're able to get into the cockpit.
Yeah. Well, it was really cool. I think before that happened, they were getting so close that the captain calls Moff Gideon. And we could see Moff Gideon on a hologram. And he says, Moff Gideon asks him, where are they in the ship? He asked about are these the same pirates that we've been dealing with? And he was like, yep, we think so. And so Moff Gideon was like, all right, well, how far are they? He's like, well, they're getting pretty close here to the bridge or the control room or whatever. He's like, all right, you know what you have to do. And both the pilots just look at each other like, shit. We're so new and we know what that means.
Yeah.
You know? And long live the Empire.
Long live the Empire, my God.
Captain hangs up the phone, shoots both the pilots, and just pushes it down. Just so
kamikaze.
Professional too. There's no emotion. He's not like, long live the Empire. He's just like, this is his job.
This is his job. But then they break into the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
And Mando's I love Mando just gets, get out of that seat and tosses him back. And it was a pretty cool and realistic save from the landing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crash landing. He was just able to they had to keep flying up, but they kind of just had to swing it up, you know?
Yeah, they're pulling up.
But they got it up. And And when they go and confront him, like about the location of Moff Gideon and the location of the Darksaber,
Yeah, Bo-Katan, she says,
Bo-Katan.
"Where is it?" And he said,
he like,
"Is it here?" And he said, "If you have to ask, you know
you
that
already
he
know.
does."
You already know that he has it.
Yeah.
And he bites on his little cyanide capsule that's really a brain fryer,
It's a brain fryer.
or something. I don't know. It just electrocuted him from the inside.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So it's pretty cool. We get to hear the Darksaber, and that's what she wants, you know. Yeah, so he kills himself. They level out though, and she ends up telling him about Ahsoka. But I thought it
just name drops her.
Yeah, Ahsoka. So we're gonna see Ahsoka at some point, which is pretty crazy.
Are you happy that she was name dropped like that? Or would you rather have them say, "Here's the Jedi lives here," and then it kind of?
I think we all knew it was her.
We all know though. Okay.
You know, so I was for it. What about you? What'd you think?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
I thought it was pretty cool that we got to hear it before we saw it. So, you know, some little teasing for all the people that are like, what about the plot? We need more plot. We need to drive the plot. But I think it really shows, too. I mean, Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, who is from the show, like we said, she's a flawed character. She's not like a perfect hero or anything. Even though she ended up with the Darksaber at the end of Rebels, I mean, she was with Death Watch. You know, she was terrorizing her city, and here she is. She's so obsessed with becoming the leader that she's willing to screw over this guy, you know, who is helping her just to figure out a name.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, when she saw the Baby Yoda too, did you see too? She like looked at it like,
yeah,
I know what that is, but I'm not
yeah.
going to tell you. And I was just like you could be doing more for him. He doesn't even know what a Jedi is exactly. He just knows like sorceress or sorcerer or whatever. And she's just like, I'm just going to give him exactly the bare minimum of what I can. I'll tell you where the Jedi is and her name.
Information is not free in Star Wars, though.
Nah,
it's never free.
So
I mean, she didn't tell him that without getting his help.
She's not a cool person overall. You know, I mean, she's a cool character, but I mean, as far as like being a good person, like,
oh, she's a very questionable person.
Yeah, I mean, Din Djarin obviously has a questionable past too, but yeah, I was like, this isn't the way, you know.
Yeah.
And he does drop a "this is the way." He does show her how to use that word. So it was really cool to see those two different Mandalorian viewpoints on things, and
that was cool.
And a lot of people are talking too that maybe Bo-Katan is going to get her own spinoff. And that's one thing too. I said earlier in our earlier episodes, I was a little worried that we'd be getting too many cameos, and that they'd be trying too hard to build other spinoffs from this show. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's going to be getting her own or anything." And I'm not opposed to her getting her own series or anything. Apparently, Boba Fett is going to get his own series. She might, you know, Ahsoka probably is. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have no problem with that. But I can really see her storyline as far as her wanting to be Mandalore and Din Djarin's a quest of getting the child, finding other Mandalorians, and obviously he has a vendetta with Moff Gideon. I can see him also participating in that. I can see that being a big arc of his story too. Everyone thinks, oh, that's separate from the child, but I think that'll be part of it. I would love to see him get back to Mandalore, the planet. He's never been there. You know, he even said that's a desolate world. They're like nothing grows, and she's like, don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah, I mean,
we see on the planet
like live in domes. It's
yeah,
like dome cities on Mandalore. You know.
Yeah. So obviously some things have gone down with the purge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I would be very interested in seeing him participate in, you know, maybe bringing back, you know, Mandalore and bringing back the Mandalorian way to there. And I would like to see him become the Mandalore too. I'd like to see him be the leader, honestly. I don't think he would want it, but I think it'd be pretty sweet if we went that way.
Totally, dude. That would be cool. Yeah, he probably wouldn't want it. He'd Jon Snow that real hard.
I don't want it. She's my queen.
Baby Yoda's my queen. Baby Yoda would take that friggin' thing and just kill everyone.
They will all be food.
Baby Yoda's a little evil bastard. Yeah. But he had a lot of cute giggles and laughing in this one.
Yeah. He had a lot of baby noises in this.
A lot of baby noises, yeah.
And so we end then. He ends up getting back to the Razor Crest, his ship. And we saw that the guy had worked on it, and there was just nets all over it and stuff. Like he patched it up with nets, apparently. And Mando even gets there, and he's like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what did I pay him for?"
Yeah, and when he's flying out, it's like horrible.
Yeah. And
at the end,
like Starfish tries to get Baby Yoda.
This was sweet. This was like Jedi reaction here.
I know.
That was like Jedi. He wasn't even looking.
I know. Why did he wait so long? Is what I want to know. Why did he wanted to make sure it was like just in arm's reach. You know, like he didn't want to have to like get up from his chair and like But anyway, it was I really liked it. It was a short one, but it was really cool. Like I said, I was really excited by getting to finally figure out the helmet thing.
Yes.
You got to see a Clone Wars character in live action who played her. The voice
that was so smooth, and that was phenomenal.
And then we're going to hear Ahsoka. So we pushed the big plot. I loved the Empire guys in this.
And then they're fighting, the Mandalorian fighting styles was so cool.
Yes.
So well done. Yeah, overall, great episode. Wish it was a little longer, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't feel gypped or anything. I'm going to wait and hold out to see where the whole season ends up. But if right now it feels like the way this is going, it's probably going to be one of my favorite shows. Probably.
Yes. I mean, really, there hasn't been a lot of bad episodes. I can't think of many. Yeah, I think every episode's been enjoyable.
Yeah, every single one so far.
Especially season 2 has been really solid so far. So
yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone, or watching on YouTube, listen on podcast. If you haven't done it on the other one, you can do it on the other one. And you can check out our other episodes of The Mandalorian. We have season 2, episode 1 and 2 out on YouTube and podcast. We also have all of season 1. We just did a whole episode for the whole season, so check that out too. Also, check out our Last Kingdom stuff if you're a fan of The Last Kingdom. And if you're not, listen to it and maybe you will be. And then go check it out.
Yes.
Because it's pretty awesome too. If you dig the Mandalorian culture, I think you'd really dig the Viking culture in The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. But thank you for listening. Going to cover episode 4 next week, so hold on tight, and this is the way.
This is the way.